the 60 billion double dollar man, the humanoid typhoon. You guessed it. I'm talking about 1998's Trigun. In short, Trigun is all about a man named Vash the Stampede who has a 60 billion double dollar bounty on his head, and so therefore many bounty hunters around try to get the bounty, and when that happens, things just get absolutely disastrous, and one thing leads to another and gets blamed on Vash all the time, ergo being called the humanoid typhoon. It's probably one of the greatest late 90s animes that I've probably seen in a while. It's got great characters like Meryl Streep, which is funny, and Billy Thompson, who both work for a insurance company that travel around and follow Vash and basically document all of the catastrophes and disasters that occur around cities that they go to. And it's pretty hilarious because during a good portion of the season, Meryl, who's one of the insurance ladies, doesn't believe that Vash is who people say that he is, who in fact is Vash, which is pretty hilarious because throughout the whole show, Vash, he's one of those characters that is quirky and comedic, but yet also when serious things go down, he changes his whole demeanor and basically becomes serious and handles situations that are dire very quickly. Smoothly? No, not really. But in the end, he does his thing. It's one of those it's one of those animes that mix in like that Western style shootout type of, setting. The whole world, now that I think about it, I think it's called Dankin, although I think that's just the city that he starts in. I can't remember the whole world that the whole Trigun thing is set in, but it's all desert, all of it, majority of it. They again, going back to the characters, he also befriends this guy named Nicholas Wolfred, who's a priest, like a traveling priest, and he carries with him this huge cross that's it's bigger than he is. It's taller than he is, and which basically is his weapons and his gadgets. He's got all these deadly things that are like all packed into this huge cross that's taller than him, and he lugs it around on his back, and it's quite hilarious to watch that. But yeah, with those four individuals that create their own kind of band of group together, it makes a really, really fun, fascinating anime. And it's interesting because it's one of those animes that doesn't give you the whole story. Essentially, it's one of those stories that evolves later on in the series. I want to say the first 3 or 4 episodes, you start to get to know, you don't know, or you do, the major characters, some of the major characters like Vash and Meryl and Billy Thompson, and you also get to know other minor characters like the bounty hunters and I think they're called the gung ho bandits, I think that's what they're called, and all of them, and there are subcategory groups of other bounty hunters that are higher and lower in tier, And then later on in the show, you find out what, who Vash is and where he's from, and the ultimate bad guy, and things kind of like reveal itself really quickly later on in the mid show of the whole season, and you realize that there's a bigger story on top of the story that you're following in the world of where Vash is, like, going around in his journey throughout his, like, travels around the desert world. It's pretty fascinating. I encourage everybody who likes that type of 90s type of vibe, and I wouldn't say it's a slow-paced kind of anime. Yeah, then it really is kind of slow-paced, but in a good way, to where it gives you a story and it gives you an and the development of what really is going on, and then it hits you with like everything else, and therefore by the end of it all, you're just sitting back and being like, oh my god, this was the greatest anime I've seen in a while. And I think it's got like 24 episodes, so it's not that long. But anywho, let me know in the comments what you thought of Trigun, and hopefully you guys see it, and tell me if you liked it and you didn't like it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.